You are listening to Terrifying True Stories. Tonight, you'll meet Alicia, a college student who learned the hard way that some conversation should never happen. What started with an innocent chat about the supernatural turned into a nightmare that terrorized her apartment. Tonight's episode is called The New Witch.
My name's Alicia, and I'm going to be talking about the haunting at my old apartment with my roommates. These were classmates I had for 2 years, and so we decided to all move in together the next semester. And we were really excited about it, getting our first apartment together. And initially the first day, it was just me and 2 of the other roommates. There were 4 of us in total. And one of them was going to a different school, so she was doing some kind of orientation that day, so she wasn't there. So it was me and the 2 roommates from my school. And I, at this point, had never experienced anything supernatural. I was just hearing all their stories. We were just in a circle in the living room talking about their experiences. They've seen ghosts. They've seen all kinds of different things. They've heard all kinds of things. And I haven't had anything, even like, sleep paralysis. I've never had that either. So they were telling me their experiences with that too. And I was just eating it all up because I love like hearing other people's stories, especially scary stories. So this was really entertaining for me. But maybe an hour into talking about all that stuff, there was a cupboard in the kitchen. And initially when we moved in, it was a cupboard that you couldn't physically open up. It was just for decoration. And it slowly started to open up as we were talking about their scary experiences. And we all saw it at the same time. And I was just like, oh, I'm not ready for this. We're just never going to talk about this ever again, guys. And they're like, okay, yeah, totally. So we just continued to talk. And that night I went to bed, and at 2 a.m. I get a phone call. And I'm like, who's calling me right now? And it's my roommates from next door. I mean, literally next door. But they're calling me and they're just like, you need to come to the living room. There's something going on. I was just like, what? Okay. So I leave my room. I meet them in the hallway. It's pitch black. I don't know why they didn't turn on the lights, but we're in the dark in the hallway. And I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, there's something in the living room. Do you not hear that noise? I was like, I don't hear a noise. And they're like, okay, let's all hold hands and let's go to the living room and show you what we're talking about. So we're all in a line, like clutching hands, and we get to the living room and there's this weird, it's this really weird sound. It's very bizarre. It was like a noise coming from the living room. And I was just like, what is that? And they're like, it might be the AC. Let's just turn it off. And so we're like, okay. So we turn off the AC, run back to the middle of the hallway, and we're trying to figure out what we're going to do next. And so they're like, okay, so what do we do? I was like, let's go to one of you guys' bedrooms. And so they're like, okay, let's go to our bedroom. And then they were like, what about Rose? Because Rose was the other roommate from the other school who was in my room. And I was like, we'll pray for her. So we just dart into their room. And we're freaking out. And I was like, oh, I gotta call my mom because she's like a devout Christian and she'll know what to do. And they're calling their friends. And one of them's reading the Bible with their friend on the phone. I'm talking to my mom, explaining the situation, and she's praying with me. The other girl is chanting something. It doesn't sound like a prayer. It sounds like something ancient, something in Latin. And I just stopped for a second and I was like, what are you doing? And she's just like, I'm praying. And I don't know why I had this instinct to ask her who she was praying to, but I was like, to who? And she's like, my God. And I was like, who's your God? And she's just like, okay, guys, I was going to tell you, but I wanted to bring in some energy, some good energy, and summon in good spirits and stuff to the place. I'm a witch, but I'm a new witch. So I technically didn't know what I was doing. And I was just pissed. I was like, you guys caused this, and it's 2 a.m. and I just want to go to sleep, and she's trying to bring in spirits, and you don't get to choose. I know that much. I haven't seen anything, but I know enough about, supernatural and occult stuff to know that you don't get to choose what comes in. So I'm like, you know what? I'm protected. I'm just gonna go to sleep. You guys are on your own with this one. So I go back to my room and I don't think about it, but ever since that day, weird things start to happen. So I would start having sleep paralysis. I would dream about little demons, pulling on my hands, and then, I would physically feel them pulling my hands as I was waking up. And then I'd hear scattering go out of my room. Or I would feel something shaking my bed, or, pulling the covers off. And I couldn't explain it. And then we invited friends over and they're like, I don't like being in your apartment. There's some really dark energy. And these were people who aren't like superstitious like that at all. They were just regular, very logical individuals, just like, I don't like being here. Can we go to my apartment instead? And the witch and her and our other roommate decided to try and get one of our teachers from school to come in and like, I guess, purify the space. But nothing was working. Until the day we moved, there was some weird stuff happening there all the time. I think it was just energy. I feel like you put intentions out there, but like you just, when it comes to that, you just don't know. And she says she's a practicing witch, and I've never, indulged in witchcraft, but I do know if you do certain things, it's gonna come off weird. I mean, my background is East African, so we have very superstitious ways about us when it comes to witchcraft and medicine and all of that. So I know not to, deal with certain things. So I just feel like her being a new witch shouldn't have been, an opportunity to start inviting energy, whatever her intentions were. So I think something was there because I've never experienced anything up until that point. And for the most part, I just thought it was, something fun to talk about. And when it actually became real, it was no longer fun to talk about. I was like, oh, this is real. Something's real. I know I'm not crazy because we're all experiencing it. Strangers who have never lived in this apartment are feeling it too. So I was angry. I was shocked because I wanted to live in denial. But once you're kind of faced with certain things, you just know you can't pretend like it's not happening right there. So I was just mad because I can never not, see or experience what I just experienced. And I felt like I brought it on myself too, by asking them about their experiences. I was just angry and I was sleepy. So I was like in shock and just terrified and angry. I think that experience made me a lot more aware of the people I invite into my home, who I live with, also what I attract as well. After that, I was very cautious with who I would become roommates with. I was just cautious of people in general, especially when they told their, situation. Because I would still talk about scary stuff after that and ask people about their experiences. But I guess I was just more cautious about everybody and everyone's energy. Because I just did not want to experience that, and I didn't want to put it on myself. Be careful who you live with. Just really, really ask questions, because we didn't ask enough questions. We're like, oh, we like each other, let's just move in together, not knowing what she was up to. And also, just be careful with what you invite into your life. I'm not going to put all the blame on her. I shouldn't have been asking certain things because maybe I invited that as well by bringing up the subject. I will not be doing that again. I was worried that whatever energy was in that apartment was going to follow me to the next place. Because, I had heard that from them and, other people, because they can, see ghosts all the time, whether they're at Walmart or they're with friends, they can, sense stuff, whereas I'm just a person who was there, and unfortunately was, caught in the crossfire of their supernatural situations. But I think I thought it was going to follow me, too. It didn't. But that was definitely something I was worried about, because I was like, this is an everyday occurrence now. These, spirits, I'm now, privy to the whole situation. I don't want to be, but what if I go to the next place and it follows me? Thankfully, it didn't. But that's also something I would, tell people about. Just be careful, because you don't know what energy is trying to attach itself.
Next time on Terrifying True Stories. Sometimes the living forget about the dead, but the dead don't forget about the living. When 3 barrels containing human remains sat forgotten, something began making itself known. You are listening to Terrifying True Stories. I'm your host, Ryan Azevedo. I'll see you on the other side.